What unfolded on AEW Dynamite this week was not just another twist in the road to All In. It was a seismic shift that rattled the very foundation of all elite wrestling. The impact was immediate and far-reaching. Inside the arena, fans were on their feet, some screaming, some stunned into silence, unsure of how to process what they had just witnessed. Online, social media platforms exploded with reactions, theories, and disbelief. Backstage, the AEW locker room was left in stunned confusion as something truly unprecedented had just taken place in the squared circle. The night was meant to build momentum toward All In, the company's biggest event of the summer. But what actually transpired has rewritten the narrative entirely, introducing chaos, mystery, and the arrival of a game-changing presence that no one saw coming, Brock Lesnar. Heading into the night, expectations were already high. Will Ospreay had been riding a wave of momentum, solidifying himself as one of the promotion's most dynamic and compelling athletes. After securing a hard-fought victory in a thrilling match, Ospreay was poised to look ahead to his newly announced bout against Swerve Strickland, an encounter that AEW had been hyping as a summer main event spectacle. Fans in the arena and watching at home were still buzzing from Ospreay's win when the celebration was cut short in the most brutal way imaginable. In an instant, the mood turned from triumph to terror. Out of the darkness came Action Andretti and Lio Rush, launching a vicious and unprovoked assault on Ospreay. The attack wasn't random or impulsive. It was premeditated, vicious, and designed to inflict maximum damage. The ambush caught Ospreay completely off guard. He had no backup, no time to react, no chance to defend himself. Within moments, he was overwhelmed by a relentless barrage of strikes and tandem offense. A devastating double-team maneuver left him writhing on the mat, clutching his neck in agony, gasping for air as the crowd looked on in horror. This wasn't just about making a statement, it was about making an example out of Will Ospreay. The shock value was palpable. This wasn't your typical post-match beatdown. It was an execution in front of a live audience. And then, just when it looked like the situation couldn't get any worse, the unexpected happened. Hangman Adam Page, former AEW World Champion and a man known for walking his own path, charged down the ramp and slid into the ring with righteous fury in his eyes. The cowboy appeared ready to come to Ospreay's aid, seemingly returning the favor for past support. The crowd roared, expecting Hangman to clean house. But the situation twisted again. Before he could even hit his signature buckshot lariat, Lio Rush threw himself in front of Action Andretti, taking the hit and halting Hangman's momentum. The timing, the emotion, the intensity, it was almost too much to process. And then Hangman, still burning with rage and purpose, grabbed a microphone. The atmosphere changed yet again. This wasn't just another promo. Hangman was about to bare his soul. He took a long look around the arena, then locked eyes with Ospreay, who was slowly trying to recover from the earlier ambush. Hangman thanked him for having his back in the past, but he made one thing absolutely clear. He walks alone. He made it known that while he appreciated the gesture, he didn't need Ospreay or anyone else to fight his battles. He spoke about pride, about self-determination, and about the very personal code he lives by. He declared that he would never accept help from those who once threatened his family for selfish reasons, a direct shot at Swerve Strickland. Hangman wasn't just talking about titles or feuds, he was talking about his values, his identity, and his mission. The crowd responded with thunderous cheers, sensing the emotional weight behind every word. He vowed to ride into Texas on July 12th, defeat Jon Moxley, claim the coveted briefcase, and head into All In as the #1 contender for the AEW World Championship. He declared that this moment, this journey, was for the fans who had never stopped believing in him through every storm and setback. He promised them a night they would never forget, a night where the cowboy would rise again. But AEW doesn't run on sentiment. It runs on reality, and reality often comes with blood, betrayal, and unexpected violence. Just as Hangman's words echoed through the arena, Jon Moxley's music hit, and everything changed. The Blackpool Combat Club was coming, and they were not coming to talk. Moxley led the charge with Wheeler Yuta, Marina Shaffer, and Claudio Castagnoli in tow. They stalked toward the ring like wolves closing in on prey. Hangman stood tall, but he was outnumbered, with no clear backup and no safe way out. As the BCC encircled the ring, the audience braced for carnage. Then, the unthinkable occurred. The arena darkened, and the unmistakable sound of Brock Lesnar's entrance music hit the PA system. The place exploded into chaos and disbelief. No one had even considered the possibility that he might show up. But there he was, the beast incarnate, striding down the ramp with an unshakable purpose in his eyes. Moxley, known for his fearlessness, suddenly looked uncertain. The Blackpool Combat Club hesitated. Brock Lesnar was not someone they had planned for. Lesnar entered the ring without hesitation, without theatrics. He didn't come to pose or play games. He came to unleash destruction. Swinging steel chairs with terrifying force, Lesnar dismantled the BCC one by one. Claudio was knocked clean off the apron. Wheeler Yuta crumpled after a vicious chair shot to the ribs. Even Schaffer was forced to retreat. Moxley, recognizing that the situation had spiraled out of control, called for a retreat. It was a rare moment of hesitation from the Blackpool Combat Club. The assault that had seemed inevitable never happened, because Lesnar had turned the tide before it could even begin. And then, just as quickly as he had arrived, Lesnar stood silently in the center of the ring. He didn't raise Hangman or Ospreay's hands. He didn't declare loyalty to anyone. He simply glared at Moxley, then turned and walked out of the arena, like a ghost haunting the living. The crowd didn't know what to do, cheer, chant, scream. It was all happening at once. Hangman stood in disbelief. Ospreay looked frozen. This wasn't a debut, a return, or a cameo. It was a warning, a declaration of presence. No one knows why Lesnar came to AEW. Was it personal? Was it business? Is he targeting Jon Moxley specifically, or does he have his sights set on the AEW World Championship? Is someone behind the scenes pulling strings to bring the beast into play? Or has Lesnar simply decided to insert himself into the most volatile situation in professional wrestling today? Regardless of the answers, the implications are staggering. The road to All In is now a dangerous and uncertain path. What was once a storyline of rivalry has become an all-out war. With Hangman Adam Page more motivated than ever, Will Ospreay proving himself night after night, Swerve Strickland lurking in the shadows, Jon Moxley ready to destroy anyone in his way, and now Brock Lesnar looming like a specter of chaos, AEW has reached a new era. The landscape has shifted. The players have changed. And no one is safe. All eyes are now on July 12th. What happens in Texas will reverberate across the wrestling world. One thing is certain, AEW Dynamite is no longer just a wrestling show. It's a battlefield, a revolution, a storm that no one can control. And the next chapter is just begging.